This is history, the future mystery. This moment is the gift. Every second we're together.
Welcome, miracle makers. It's Dr. Sarah Larsen in the house, and today we are doing live readings for you. It's incredibly close to my heart when I hear of someone committing suicide, if someone is hurting. And over the past few days, I've gotten a lot of messages about people that were really in need of readings. And so we put aside what we had planned for today so that we could really give to that community. Please share this Facebook Live with anyone you think could use a reading. And I believe Jarvis, who's my co-pilot on this, is sharing that there's someone on the line already. So, Miracle Makers, the show is for you. Please call in, and we're going to take the first call. Welcome, caller. Can you hear Dr. Sarah Larsen on Miracle Makers? Hello, Anonymous. We've got you on the phone. Can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
Oh, hello. How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, good. I'm just so happy to be of service to you. What question comes in mind?
Wow. I hadn't even thought of a question. I was just like browsing through my phone, and I saw that you were doing this, and I said, well, okay, I got a minute. Let me call in. So,
what's your name?
Myrna.
Hi, Myrna. You are so darling. I feel like we know each other.
Okay. We've met, but we don't know each other.
We've met. Okay, wonderful. Myrna, so glad. And if there's not anything in particular that you want to ask, but this time is so useful if you have a specific question, because we have about 5 minutes and we can really dive into something that's close to your heart.
Okay, a question in what area? I'm not even sure how to do this.
So what's happening in your relationships right now?
What's happening in my relationships? I don't have any concerns in relationships. I don't have a significant other, which sometimes I think I'd like to have, and then sometimes I think I don't have time for. So, but in my other relationships, I don't have any problems that I'm aware of.
And
I have.
Go ahead.
I have a lot of pain in my body that I'm dealing with and slows me down. So
it feels like nerve-oriented and pain that's coming in from it's the nervous system a little bit. And I think that's secondary to having a lot of toxins in your environment. And you've had a little bit of work with studies done to kind of look at what's happening. And it feels like it's a lot of your joints and like pins and needles tingling.
Yeah, I do have some of that.
Okay.
And it is nerve related, I'm sure. A lot of it is.
There's so many things that are happening that I love that how you answered with relationships. Like that's not a real concern, but this physical body is. The energy around your nerves have been a little bit on fire, and it feels like there are either heated or cooled by water. So what happens when you're kind of in water? Taking a bath, taking a shower?
I don't know of anything that's happening when I'm in water.
When you're in water. Because it's interesting because if you started doing Epsom salt baths and started putting time into sort of putting your skin and your nervous system could help detoxify your body. Dry brushing is one of my favorite things for you, as well as oil pulling would be really, really great. But in water, your body can release a lot of the toxins with Epsom salts, with Epsom salts in particular, the joint areas.
Okay. And sometimes I do baths in Epsom salts, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Epsom salt bath, oil
Epsom-
pulling, and dry brushing. Okay.
Oil pulling and dry brushing. It sounds like you're familiar with those.
I am. Uh-huh.
You are. Okay. And then there's been, and it feels like it's behind one of your ears or something, something happening on your head, behind your ears as I'm tuning in. What's happening there?
I'm not aware of anything there.
So I'd love for you to feel right behind your ears and kind of right behind and sort of take a moment and feel sort of is there a little bit of like, it just feels like a tingling or a pain that's happened and on the right side. So I'm gonna connect that to your eyes as I'm just tuning in more. So there's a little bit with blurriness and vision that's in. Is there blurriness and vision happening?
Well, there's blurriness in vision on the left side
On the left,
because of cataracts,
on the left
and
side.
on the right side.
Okay.
On the right side, about 4 years ago, I had cataract surgery removed.
Okay.
With lens implant.
It's the location of the nervous system in your brain is opposite of the eye. So it would be that the right side affecting the left eye and the right eye, sort of the nerve bundles on the opposite side. So let's talk about what's happening there, because that feels like that's the place that your body wants to give attention. And it really wants, so it's interesting. There's these things that you can do just with your own hands, which is keep your eyes open and warm up your palms and put them right above your eyes. And keep your eyes open so they breathe inside your warmed palms. And it feels like this will help your eyesight, and it will also help make sort of the extension, the blurriness, the ability for your eye, the cornea to breathe better.
Okay, is that with the base of my hand, like where the wrist meets, like on my cheekbone, and
right,
then the open
where the
palm
wrist, right,
over my eyes?
If you're watching on screen, I can demonstrate it for you. You keep your eyes.
Oh, I'm not watching on screen.
Okay.
I didn't even know that was an option.
Well, you can watch us on Facebook. You can also watch us on UBN. And guys, if you're watching me on Facebook, please share this, because there might be a friend that really needs a reading right now in order to really bring in the transition of wellness and of relationship. Those are two areas that I just really, really love working on. Your body loves it when you walk or move small amounts too, Myrna. It's really important for your body to have time, like you have a little bit of a practice where you're quiet with yourself. You have a little bit of a practice of doing stuff like reading, that sort of stuff, bringing in higher thoughts, whether it's listening, watching. There, you have a practice of that, and your body would like a little bit of a practice where you're doing over not long walks, not long movements, but short walks for like 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then
3 to 5 minutes.
3 to 5 minutes.
And like frequently do that?
So I would say throughout the day, every time you look up at the hour and you notice it's a different hour, to get up and just move for 3 to 5 minutes in that hour. it's a circulation and nerves. With the walking and the circulation, your nerves will regenerate because you're doing like the mental work of regeneration. You're doing the emotional work to some degree. And now it's about bringing in the physical stuff.
Okay. So 3 to 5 minutes frequently throughout the day.
So every hour you look up and you're like, oh, it's 12 o'clock now. Let me go for a little bit of a walk for 3 minutes. And then you look up again and you're like, oh, it's 1:30. Let me go for a walk for a couple minutes. Every 3 minutes, every time you notice that the hour has changed. And it will help
And this is
reset your biological clock as well if you're up and moving and connecting movement to your time. Because it feels like there's just been a little bit off with sleep as well in the wee hours, pain-wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, particularly as last night, yes.
Yeah, and so that reset will happen when you look at time and you stand up and physically move. And every hour, if your body's getting, wow, we're awake, this is the time for us to be awake and to reset. That will be quite extraordinary.
Well, thank you. That's interesting information. I will do that, though.
I'm so glad. And please send me an email or let me know how you're doing. That oil pulling, walking, Epsom salts, the dry brushing, which you're already doing. And then for your eyes, the time span with, like, it would be great if you sat with your palms heated, with your eyes open for about 20 minutes. And when I say palms heated, it's just you rub them together. And what happens is the CO2 and the oxygen exchange helps regenerate when your palms, the heated palms are right, creating a space or a vacuum of warmth around your eyes. Did that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. Somebody was interrupting the phone call, so I missed a couple of words. How long did you say I should do that?
For about 20 minutes a day.
About 20 minutes a day.
And it will help your
Okay.
eyes regenerate some of the blurriness, because they're open and there's an exchange, they're comfortably open in your palms. There will be an exchange, sort of a regeneration. Your eyes breathe. And so them being able to breathe and be relaxed inside your palms will really, really help them.
Okay.
All right. I'm sending you.
I had done that years ago, so I can start doing that again.
That's so awesome. Your body liked it, so it wants it again. So, yay.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your call.
Thank you so much. I
You're-
really appreciate the
you're so
information, and
welcome.
it's interesting. These are all things that I'm familiar with. So it's just doing it now. The walking, frequently throughout the day. I'm sure it's preferable if it's outside, but can it also be inside?
It can be inside. It's more about your biology knowing when it's awake. Your body's really intelligent. And if you wake up and you're standing up and moving, it will let you start resting at night.
Okay.
So every hour that
Yeah,
you're
I've been.
awake, resetting that. And then when you go to bed, there's this intelligence that will kick in your body.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you so
And
much. Go ahead.
I've been diagnosed with sleep apnea, and so mild sleep apnea, but nevertheless, so that's affecting the quality of my sleep at night as well.
Right. And so the heavier breathing during the day and the rest mode that you get into will be quite lovely. So it'll be your body's awake and alert during the day. Your breathing coincides with that. You're training your body to breathe in a different manner. So, and then with sleep apnea, the relaxation overall comes in, so you're able to stay asleep. And it's different for every person, the cause of it, but yours, because it's unknown still, but yours is your body needs your intelligence to know when it's awake, and for you to talk to yourself during those 3 minutes. Now is the time to breathe. Now is the time to be awake. And then when you're resting, before you go to bed, your body will know this is still quiet time, relax time, and it'll really be able to relax the passages all the way through.
That's cool. Now, when I'm doing the
Sweetheart,
eye
I'm
palming,
so sorry. We didn't set a timer.
the time is
but
out?
yeah, time is out. I'm so glad that you were on the
Okay.
phone. Please send me an email or a Facebook message or any of that. And I'd love to keep in touch. We've got about 9-10 callers waiting. So I'm so
good.
glad.
Okay.
Thank you
All right.
so much.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Many, many blessings.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. Jarvis, I enjoy doing this so much. And Jarvis says he enjoys it so much too. So next caller, welcome caller. It's Dr. Sarah Larsen on Miracle Makers on UBN Network. I'm so glad you're with us. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes, welcome. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, my name is Lynette.
Hi, Lynette. What a treat to have you on the phone. Is there a question that I can...
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Yes. Oh, thank you. I do have a question. I don't really know what's going on with me at the moment, experiencing more lack and limitation opposed to what I was experiencing in my life before, which was abundance and prosperity. And so I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing now because it's off.
It's so interesting because you've tried so many different things over your lifetime, and you reinvent yourself on a regular basis, and it's about reinvention. Your energy had gotten stagnant for a little bit because there was just so much chaos in the environment, and you're very sensitive to that. And for you to remember and integrate all the different things that you've done, it shows that you've had maybe so many different types of careers as well. There's stuff about creating art, and it's mostly like entertainment stuff. I'd love for you to talk just a little bit more.
About what part? You're right in the art and the entertainment, because that's where I was when I had lots of abundance and prosperity and helping a lot of people and traveling throughout the world and working with high-profile entertainers. And then I retired.
And then in retirement, a little bit of chaos came in. And you love being out there. You love being playful. You love ornate things as well. And it's interesting because the ornate around you has kind of gotten stacked with other stuff around it. Does that sound right?
I'm sorry, say that again.
The ornate,
you said the
right? The ornate things around you have gotten stacked with other things around. So instead of having all of the things that bring you a great deal of joy, and so your abundance, your prosperity, all of the great things, great work that you get to do, really comes from one remembering. You reinvented yourself constantly. For each person that came in, you were in the process of becoming something for them, and you were co-creating with them. And so then there was the idea of writing some of this stuff down that you haven't done as well. So so specifically, what is blocking the abundance? The first thing, physical environment, getting the ornate stuff out and about. 2, really inviting people to come work with you again And the invitation might be something like uh, it's an invite to have somebody mentor with you or come in and mentor with you, help clean up your environment a little bit. And as you're cleaning up, and it's not that messy, it's just not ornate. But as you're bringing the ornate back in and you're mentoring someone, the flow energy inside yourself reinitiates and activates, and it draws in the abundance again. And you have to write stuff down. It's going to sound sort of funny, but you used to do this with others to some degree, sort of like create magic statements or spells or songs, that sort of thing. And then you would watch them
That's
come
true.
true. And so this is something that you've got to do again. Did that make
Yeah,
sense?
I still write in journal, and of course I still do it with people that call
Yes.
me, because
Yes.
I'm so used to helping and I love helping people. So I still do that. But then yesterday I was saying to my prayer partner, it's really interesting that I can give somebody something or help them, and then magically it manifests. But lately with myself, it's not.
And that's because you need someone who wants to learn from you and mentor with you.
Okay.
And when they
Okay.
mentor with you, it's almost like you're releasing into their field what creates for you. So it's not on you,
Got it.
so to speak. That energy, that bond, that creation, you're letting someone else co-create it with you. So you teach,
Got it.
you inspire, and that comes in so beautifully as you're mentoring. So I'm so glad, because I see in a short period of time, and this has happened for you over and over again, whenever you really let go and playfully, it came in so strongly.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm so
So,
glad that we've been on the phone. I know we've got to set a little bit of a timer, but I'd love for you to finish your thought so we can go to the end. I'm so glad. I know this is our first time meeting on the phone and first time meeting, and you've got
that's
such
true.
so you said that's true. You've got such delicious energy. So I'm so grateful that you called in. Really magical, miraculous miracles happen in your presence. So I'm so glad that you called
Thank you.
in.
I have one quick question for you. I'm sending out resumes right now, just for like general work, just to work to generate money, to seed money to help me with my other projects. So what do you see? Is that the right thing I should be doing at this time?
That is the right thing. And it's right for a few different reasons. When you feel
Okay.
stable, it's such a brilliant task for the stability, and that financial flow, stability, that seed money helps you be as comfortable as possible. So it's in the step of doing both.
Got it.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm so glad that you called in, and I look forward to our next conversation.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're
Continue the good work. Thank
Oh,
you.
you're so welcome. Thank you for saying that. Please send me an email and let me know how you're doing.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have Nico who stepped in studio to film a little bit. Hello, Nico.
Hi, Dr. Sarah. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. We're doing live readings on air. And so people are calling in and we're just reading for them. I say we, it's Spirit that comes in to co-read, and then Jarvis co-creates the letting them come in online. So
And if they wanted to call, which number would they call?
so it is 310
323
323 524 2599.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thanks, Nico, with a social media minute. Oh, welcome, next caller.
needs to be addressed.
Hi, caller. Can you hear me? It's Dr. Sarah Larsen.
Hi, caller. Can you hear me? It's Dr. Sarah Larsen. Because this is very sensitive.
I think you might have to turn something off on your end. Okay, please call back the caller that was
How's
there.
that?
Hi, it's Dr. Sarah Larsen. How are you?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How awesome. Welcome.
Oh, good. It's Charlotte.
Hi, Charlotte from Colorado.
I'm not from Colorado, but I'm from California.
You're from California. I was wondering, tell me about you a little bit, Charlotte.
Well, I'm wondering if you could look into the whole relationship thing because I'm having a very interestingly difficult go with it.
It's interesting because as soon as you started talking, I'm so glad that your questions about relationships, that's one of the areas that I just love being able to, you get the right information in and all of the static noise in your life comes out when you get that right setting. And Charlotte, you've got, this is a little bit of an imbalance with masculine feminine energy. So tell me just what comes up for you around masculine feminine energy.
Well, I'm not surprised you say that. I think that I was married for 23 years. It's been a year and a half since we've been separated. And I think my masculine energy was very strong in that relationship. And I'm very aware of the whole ascension and getting my feminine energy going.
This is so great because this is
more to balance.
I'm going to give you what your guides really want you to know about your femininity. You wound up having to defend yourself quite a bit. And
Yes.
in the defense department, you became and took on a persona, a personality that didn't allow others to really feel you or connect with you anymore. And in terms of the relationship, it's very, very interesting because there's a lot that you have so generously given from your heart to so many different areas. And for you, it's about going to, and it's interesting to say the ocean, but it could be a salt water bath. It could be where you're really diving in. The ocean, going through a process for about 21 to 20 to 30 days, something like that, where you're having a ritual of rebirth for yourself. And it's flower.
Well, you're really breaking up a little bit. So you said a 20 to 30 day process of what?
20 to 30 day process for yourself of rebirthing yourself in the feminine. And there are groups and women around you that have wanted to help with this as well. And it'd be really great to step into one of the assignments, one of the things for you to do is to really have an extraordinary ability to receive. In the past, you kind of had to be an expressive energy of like taking, because there were so many kind of takers around you. And now it's about developing a skill set of receiving. And I'd love for you to say and share over and over again, what I really want now is. And whether you're at the grocery store, whether you're with friends, to really express what you want now as a feminine woman. So a 20 to 30 day process of going in and letting your Venus, your very sweet self, emerge from your shell by asking for what you want.
Wow. That's so good. That's so good and so difficult. I hear what you're saying.
It
I'm
is
going to
it
do
is
it.
simple, and for you, by the end of those 20 to 30 days, you'll have such a softening of your energy to really
Oh,
be received. Like I'm sensing that right now, that you're getting great feminine, like rebirthing happening.
well, so far I feel like I am, except it seems to be stopping. Like I have these men texting me. It doesn't seem to go anywhere though, so there's still that like block.
It's after the 20, and I'd love to hear from you. And I'm on Facebook. I'd love to hear from you on Facebook as well. It's Dr. Sarah Larsen public page. Let me know after the 20 some days, and you will notice that calls are coming back, that you're receiving confirmation of having stepped into your feminine.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Beautiful.
Charlotte,
Well, thank you so much.
you're so welcome. Thank you for calling in.
What a delight. Blessings to all of us, yes?
Yes, blessings to all of us. Thank you, thank you. Yay. Jarvis, you do such a great job. I'm so grateful. And I know we have the next caller. Welcome, caller. It's Dr. Sarah Larsen. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, wonderful. Tell me your name, please.
My name is Felicia.
Hi, Felicia. What a treat to have
Hi.
you on the phone. And what can we help you with today?
The only question I really have is just sometimes I feel like there's negative energy around me. Like sometimes bad things, it seems like they're always happening to me.
I kind of felt like this has been something that's been going on since not just now, but a little bit. It's in your environment since childhood. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yes.
so you have a little bit of a stand that you're walking through the world with an expectation of what's going to happen, what's going to drop next, what's about to break. But we made it through this, but what's the next thing that I have to deal with? Does that sound
Right.
Okay? And it's very interesting because your grandmother's energy, and it's interesting because you know a little bit. It feels like a little bit of the family history, but it was very secretive.
Oh.
Does that sound right? Can you hear me? Like,
I'm not sure.
So they didn't tell you, they kept you in the dark about what was about to happen a lot.
Correct.
Okay. So
But that was overall with everything.
that was overall with everything, right? There was
Right.
that energy in your environment when your biology was dividing, when your cells were dividing at a young age. There wasn't a whole lot of trust in the environment, and your biology went towards creating what your family created, which was just a series of unfortunate events. And what I'd love for you to do is really take over your own biology. And what I'd love for you to do is really go through a process where you're writing down 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or even more of the nice things people say to you every day. It's been, and I'd love for it to start with what people are saying to you, because the thoughts and the way that you talk to yourself sometimes is not very, very nice. And it causes the sort of your heart not to be connected. There's an institute of heart math. Heart Math Institute did a great deal of research and studies, and they showed that when we're feeling good in our heart, when we're having happy images and thoughts in our heart, and when we're breathing into our heart, we stumble less. We have more of our brain that becomes available to be able to receive some of the things that are right there in the environment to receive, the good. So I'm going to say that another way so it makes a lot of sense, right? You've got a lot of good and weird things in your environment. For the good things to happen more, I want you to write down all the nice things that people are saying to you about you, even the nice things you hear other people say to other people about them. And I want you to start reading it, especially before you go to bed. And I want you to start a process of when you're worried that something bad might happen, to put your hand on your heart and begin breathing in and remembering those nice things that you wrote down, all the things that you're thankful for that you wrote down, all the little things that you improved upon. Because so much. There were so many negative things at one time, and you weren't experiencing any layers of joy. And you brought yourself out of depression, out of a lot of different dark emotions. And now you're right at the cusp of a lot of good things happening. And Oprah Winfrey, a while ago, wrote and talked about a process of writing good things down, and of the good things that happened to you that day. The 5 good things that happen. He recommends in the book, in Art of Happiness, to write 5 good things that happened that day and 3 things that you're grateful you're not. And so when I learned the Dalai Lama's process, the art of happiness, like 5 things that I was grateful for that day. Grateful that my favorite food, lemon loaf, was available, or that I got to experience my friend's phone call, or that I was able to talk to my mom when I was in a foreign country. I'd write those down. And then 3 things I was grateful I was not. And sometimes that list would be, I'd watch someone walking across the crosswalk and they were homeless, and so I'd write down, I'm so grateful I'm not homeless. And one of the realities for me as
Right. Okay.
so I'm going to say this one other way, because you are so beautiful and you're so kind and you've helped so much in the environment that you're in. It's time for you to take over and remake your biology and start. But in your heart, you have stem cells that the Chinese call immortality cells. We call stem cells. And when you place your hand on your heart, and when you connect with your heart's energy, it will recreate your biology so that you're able to recreate the good in your life, and a lot less of the weird stuff, a lot less of the stumbling will happen. Did that make sense?
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
I'm so glad.
Now, I know you have to end the call, but was there an issue with my grandmother is dead, but was there an issue with her that I didn't know about?
There is something about a little boy. But right before you mentioned your grandmother, is there a little boy in your environment? Younger than you is what I mean by little boy. Not young boy, not little boy, but younger than you boy.
Mm.
So,
I'm not sure.
so you had a young boy that transitioned. He's with your grandmother. And it's interesting. As soon as I said little boy, then these little piercing eyes came out at me. Beautiful, sweet eyes. And there was a baby that it's just beautiful with your grandmother. Your grandmother's issue, it feels like she wasn't sure fully of heritage, like who her parent, one of the heritage part was a little bit weird for her. And that was something they didn't
Okay.
talk about all that much.
Okay. With one of the grandmothers, she died before I was born. I never met her. And then there's another grandmother. She died about 20 years ago.
20 and so was it on your mama's side that died 20 years ago?
No, it's on my dad.
On your dad's
And the
side.
grandmother that I never met is on my mom.
On your mom's side. Okay. And the grandmother that you met loved it when you religious is the wrong way to say it, but she liked you being I know I want to say it's kind of like Hail Mary-ish. I don't think it's Catholic, but it was she liked that a lot.
She believed in marriage.
She believed in marriage.
You needed to be married.
Right. She showed me like a white, and I usually associate that with catechism, but it didn't feel like she was Catholic. She showed me a veil on her head, like a little veil, and that's something that she wanted for you.
Yeah, every time I would speak to her, she said, "Are you married? Did you find a husband?" And I would tell her no.
That was big. And that was, but you did do schooling, which was, it's interesting because you did something with schooling. So what did you do with schooling?
I went to the University of Milwaukee for my bachelor's.
And she's
I
really,
completed
really
years
proud of
ago.
that. She is really, really proud of you for doing that.
Oh, wow.
So,
I'm trying to figure out who the baby is. I'll have to sit on that one, think about that one.
There was a little boy that could have come through you and didn't, and just wants you to know.
Oh, okay.
Just how that he's with your grandma and loves you so much. And it was on purpose to really make you know that you had to make big choices back then.
Okay.
Just so much love for you. So there's just so you know, it's everything is in divine right order.
Okay.
That it happened the way it was supposed to happen, so that you could really fully. You had to make big choices back then, and you chose to go forward in a beautiful way with your life, and that was the right choice. Okay. Big love to you. I'm sending you hugs through the phone or through the airwaves.
Thank you.
Please keep in touch with me on Facebook. Let me know it was you on Dr. Sarah Larsen fan page, or I think it's called a public page, because I'd love to stay in touch. Thank you so much for calling in.
I will.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Right. Yay. Jarvis, we're ready whenever you are. And I love Saint Francis of Assisi, and I have in studio one of the books that Saint Francis is so, so close to my heart. I got to experience him in Sicily, and it's so extraordinary to read some of those. So Saint Francis comes in, and then I love this book as well, The Wisdom from the Indian Masters. This is such a beautiful and ornate book, and the wisdom in it is quite extraordinary. And recently, I've just had a lot of people in my environment that have not decided to continue moving forward. And so I think I'm going to start doing maybe once a month call-in shows so that you know that you're not alone and you can get messages. It's so important for me for you to know I had a near-death experience, and in that near-death experience, I got to experience what it was like on the other side. And Abraham Hicks, or Esther Hicks, when she channels Abraham, says, it's never done. It's never over. You can't get it wrong. And it's the bodies that we have when we cease to breathe in them. When I ceased to breathe in my body, I understood everything that I caused another person to feel. I understood and felt one with everything. I felt one with the room that I was in. I felt one with the person. And my near-death experience was a violent one. So there was someone choking me in the very, very first one that I experienced. It was quite harsh. And I was so grateful when the pain, when I was on the other side. And I remember choosing to come back. Even so, a series of near-death experiences, I saw I could go back into this clear space, into this tunnel, into a place where all my sensations really know and knew everything from the standpoint of what anyone who had ever been in my environment thought about me, thought about themselves, thought about the spaces that they were in. And so one of the things that the word that I call it is agreement. When you know everything, when you have a 360 degree on something, there's an understanding from both perspectives of what's going to happen. I know in my near-death experience that the man that was choking me, agreed to be that person in order to allow me to practice forgiveness. Today, in order for me to come to where I am, to have those series of near-death experiences and to know with absolute certainty what's on the other side. I knew as a kid, 19, you'll never get it done. It's never done, and it's never wrong. So it's really important for me to help create a space where I can give to you so you can have this wisdom. I'm so grateful for this wisdom that I get to share with you. And it comes through these great beings, great channels that get turned on. And those channels allow me to be able to serve you. And so, Jarvis, are we ready for the next call? So, welcome, caller. We're going to take the next call in. Welcome. It's Dr. Sarah Larsen.
Hello.
Hi. How are
Hi.
you?
I'm doing okay, and hope you are.
I am. I'm so glad that you've been on the phone and so patient. How can I help you?
Well, I've just really been struggling for some time now, and I'm just trying to see if you can sort of see anything for my future in the next year or so.
So,
I've been struggling really hard with depression and anxiety, and I've just been really struggling.
It's interesting because your diet changes as you go. It's very, very interesting because I'm so sorry, and I know what depression is like. And there is a great video that I'll add to the Facebook feed that is called Practicing Emotional First Aid. It's a TEDx talk that really helps you understand why when you're depressed, you don't reach out for help the same way that when you're well. And so your body has a physical thing going on. Depression ran quite deeply, and you've become a little bit isolated. And I'm so sorry I didn't ask you your name. Can you tell me your name? Bonnie, I'm so glad that you called in. There's, it's interesting because your body can heal quite extensively to let your depression heal, and you've got really sensitive feet. So just tell me what's happening with your feet.
Well, now I'm having a problem with my back, so I'm not able to stand and walk very long right now. So I just had an MRI yesterday, but and my heel is numb. I guess it's coming from my back, but physically I've not felt well either. I've just sort of checked out, sort of a little bit with the depression
and so what I would love for you to do is find a reflexologist in your neighborhood, or a Chinese practitioner, or get towels, like long towels, and begin rubbing them at your feet, like rubbing them at the bottom of your feet, because a great deal of your energy, you were such a doer before. You did so much and you moved around, and you were really, you're such a doer that if you begin rubbing the base of your feet or get reflexology on your feet, it will help your back, it will help your nervous system, it will help. You do a great deal of sort of mental work as well. So were you doing stuff around prayer, praying, that sort of stuff for your wellness?
Well, I do pray every day. I do pray every day, because you're right. I mean, my husband has sort of lost his wife, because I used to be the doer, and I was, very social, and now I just, I'm not. And so he pretty much does a lot of stuff now that I no longer want to do. So.
And he has a little bit of a practice of doing physical stuff that you're not doing as well. And he wishes you were doing that with him. It's very, very interesting.
Right.
And I'd love for you to really start with the foot massage. And it's going to hurt to let your husband be someone that rubs your feet and really brings in that tenderness there. And it's not an easy process, but that's the process for you to regenerate. You're going to have to go through a little bit of pain as he's rubbing your feet, and slowly from the feet up in your body. He doesn't know how to help you, and that's been a little bit of a strain on him as well in the relationship, because he loves you so dearly.
Right, and I'm scared. I'm worried about him, because he has a heart condition, and I'm aware that I put a lot of pressure on him, and that makes me even more depressed, because I feel like I'm not doing my part.
Let him start rubbing your feet, and let yourself be a little bit uncomfortable in the feet, and it will help his heart condition. I know if we had more time for another reading, it would be there would be so much more that I could share with you, but start with the feet. And Bonnie, I'm so glad that you're on air with us. Please follow me on Facebook and let me know how you're doing.
Okay. Way, but she struggled, and so maybe I'll get to ask you those questions one day.
I'm looking forward to that, Bonnie. Thank you so much.
Okay, well.
You're welcome. Oh, I'm sorry, Jarvis. That one got cut off too fast, but we have one more caller that we can take. Welcome, caller. Can you hear me? It's Dr. Sarah Larsen. Welcome, welcome. Go ahead and speak up into your phone. Hi. So we're going to go to the next caller. Somehow that got disconnected. Welcome, caller. You're on with Dr. Sarah Larsen and Miracle Makers.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so glad I get to talk to you.
Same here. Who am I speaking with?
This is Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
What can I help you with?
Well, I have kind of just questions regarding 3 areas of my life, so any input you have would be wonderful. Just career, one particular relationship, and then also some issues I'm having with asthma.
So the first thing that came up very, very strongly is career and finances. It's so funny because that's so you're trying to make a change in your career. Tell me about that really quickly.
Yes.
So
I had a job that ended kind of abruptly at the end of last year, and rather than going back to something I'm not interested in pursuing, I'm trying to make my dreams happen and freelance.
yes.
And it's just been really rocky, and I'm not getting the work or the people that I want to work with or
It's so
anything
funny
that's
because you're
really
an
making it move forward.
entertainer. You're such an entertainer. And when you're in entertainer mode, jobs come to you, things come to you, contracts, things like that. That's what's showing up in your environment. And it sounds a little bit funny, but go out to the places that you think the people you and go early, like go around happy hour, close to the businesses that you want to be associated with, and
Okay.
and go as a fun girl and playful and joyful, and bring your relationship with you from time to time, and just be sort of dancey, flirty in that environment. You've been trying too hard to make it without playing. And so go play, and those people that you're supposed to meet up with are going to show up. Your vibration is going to attract them.
Okay.
And you'll be able to create your business. And then your relationship is really interesting. It feels like there's travel or there's been movement around. You guys are not in the same place somehow that you were before.
Yeah, it's kind of also hit an abrupt change where I just feel like we're not really as connected as we used to be.
And what's happening is you have more time, and you're asking for more to comfort you. And so there's relationship wise, but when you're in your playful mode, it's really funny. You've got he's more around when things are working so beautifully. You guys have so much fun together. And so you've gotten extra time, and it's become more about you and less about us. Does that make sense?
Mhm. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I wish we had more time. Jarvis just gave me it's funny, I'm going to say the finger. Jarvis
That's okay. Is there anything you see about regarding the asthma?
Oh, and bee pollen is really great for you. And I think you've tried local honey, but you haven't tried bee pollen yet. And I'd love for you to put local honey right underneath your nostrils. And start breathing that, because it seems to when I have to wrap it up. He's giving me multiple fingers now.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you
I'm so grateful.
so much.
I appreciate it.
You're so welcome.
All right. Have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much, callers. We'll see you again. I think we're going to do it the third Friday of every month. We'll do a call-in show. So the third Friday of every month, you can count on me to come back to you with readings. I love you guys with all my heart. I look forward to next time. Thank you.